Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Brother Khalid, and I will be discussing about the word revert with you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa sallallahu ala khairi khihi wa sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alayhi sahabi ajma'in. Tasliman kasirin kasira bidhar maqa'imin. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Recently, I was on Facebook and Reddit, and I read discussions going on about the word revert, especially the one on Facebook by Brother Adnan Wood Adrian Smith, who happens to be a Muslim. Brother Adnan has mentioned about the word revert. In his views, he says that revert is going backward. You're going backwards. And convert is moving forward, and you're showing progress. Now, according to the majority of scholars, other Muslims, they argue and say these Muslims who are calling themselves revert are attaching the word revert to the two authentic hadith. In Sahih Bukhari, it mentions that it is the parents that make the children Christians and Jews. And in Sahih Muslim, it says we are all born as Muslims, being pure and clean, born in the fitrah, and believing in one God, Allah Azza wa Jal. Now, the scholars and other Muslims that argue, they say that fitrah represents the capacity and readiness to accept Tawheed, oneness of God, rather than being born a Muslim legally, becomes a practicing Muslim. That's what they say. So it's best, therefore, the preference, they prefer that it's best to be called a convert or simply a Muslim. Now I'm going to go over some key points with you, which the key points that I'm going to discuss about, they were not mentioned in the Facebook or in Reddit. Now, it is mentioned in Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Azab, Surah At-Tawbah, and Surah Muhammad about the word revert. Those Muslims, those group of Muslims that were the newly converts of Islam, when they became Muslim, they reverted back to their old ways. That is mentioned in the Quran. You can read more about those Muslims who became disbelievers again, went back to their old ways of worshiping idols, being disbelievers, and those who reverted back to their old ways will have a serious punishment. Now in Surah Muhammad, which addresses those who turn back after guidance, after acknowledging the truth, often are influenced by hypocrisy. They become hypocrites. Now, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ never used the word revert. He has used the word reverted because in his speech, at that time, he told his ummah, after me, with all due respect, after his death, do not revert back to your old ways of disbelief, being kafirs, and being a part of the al-mushrikeen again. In my view, I think that those who are calling themselves revert are contradicting the Quran, because revert only mentions in those various surahs that I mentioned about, mention the word revert in going back to their old ways of disbelief of Islam. It mentions about that, and the severe punishments of that are mentioned. And in those two hadiths that I mentioned earlier, in Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari, the word revert is not mentioned there. Okay, the choice is yours. If you want to call yourself revert, go ahead. Convert, go ahead. But my view is you're contradicting the Quran, and you could be contradicting the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This is Brother Khalid. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.